I hate theater. Well, it's so disappointing, isn't it? You know what I do when I'm sitting in a darkened theater waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh, dear God, please, let it be a good show. And let it be short. Oh, Lord in heaven, please. 2 hours is fine, but 3 hours is too much. And keep the actors out of the audience. God, I didn't pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a story, and a few good songs that will take me away. I mean, I just want to be entertained. Isn't that the point? Amen. You know, there was a time people sat in darkened theaters and they thought to themselves, what have George and Ira Gershwin got for us tonight? Or, can Cole Porter pull it off again? Can you imagine? Now it's, please, Elton John, must we continue the charade? Yes, there was a time people sat in the dark and they knew that when the show began, they would be taken to another world, a world of music, color, and glamour. And they thought to themselves, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? Oh, how things have changed. Hello, how are we today? I'm feeling a little blue myself. You know, a little anxious for no particular reason. A little sad that I should be feeling anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in non-specific sadness, a state that I call blue. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So I was going through my records this morning. Yes, records. And I was about to put on the soundtrack recording of Meredith Willson's The Music Man. I crave me a young Ronnie Howard. But then I thought to myself, no, let's have a treat. Let's disappear for a while into the decadent world of the 1920s, where champagne flowed, caviar chilled, and all the world was a party. For the wealthy, anyway. So I dug about, and what did I find? But one of my favorite shows, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember? Music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Sidney Stein. It's a two-record set, remastered from the original recording in 1928. Oh, and the full cast includes Beatrice Stockwell as the chaperone. Oh, isn't she elegant? And this is a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Can you believe it? Here, let me read to you what it says on the back. Mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Of course, the phrase gay wedding has a different meaning now. Yes. But back then it just meant fun. And that's what the show is, fun. So would you indulge me? Would you let me play my record for you? I was hoping you'd say that. You hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. All right now, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, you've just arrived at the doors of the Morosco Theater in New York. It's very cold. Remember when it was cold in November? Yeah, not anymore. November's the new August. It's global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway, it's very cold and a heavy gray sleet is falling from the sky. But you don't care, because you're going to see a Broadway show. Listen. Isn't this wonderful? It helps if you close your eyes. Overtures. Overtures are out of style now. Oh, I miss them. It's the show's way of welcoming you. Hello, welcome. A meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? That's what an overture is, a musical appetizer. A poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. Oh, something new. Sounds like a dance tune, kind of rollicking. Maybe involving pirates. But don't worry, there are no pirates. Okay, now here it comes. The moment where the music starts to build, and you know you're only moments away from being transported. The curtain is going up. I can't wait.
Underling.
Yes, madam?
How do I look?
You look radiant, Mrs. Cottondale.
Oh, I do love this dress so. It never goes out of style.
It's a miracle, madam.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, yes, your dress, your fancy dress. 'Twas such a pleasure airing it, restitching and preparing it. God bless your dress, it's one fine dress, and I will tell you why you put it on. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Madam, you're the hostess and it's happy wedding time.
Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will gong, wedding bells will ding-a-ling and we will ding along.
Wedding guests have come,
Wedding guests are here, wedding guests are at the door and soon they will appear.
I'm Robert, the bridegroom, I'm here to marry Janet, the star of Elsing's follies, whom I love a lot.
I'm George, that's George, his best man George. I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought. Mrs. Tottondale, now don't you worry, I have this whole wedding planned out. The key is organization. See, each string represents a task yet to be completed. Pay the musicians, yell at the florist, and book the minister. The whole wedding is gonna run like clockwork.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
I'm Feldig, producer. I lost my leading lady. I gotta stop this wedding or I'm not worth squat.
I'm Kitty, just Kitty. I came with Mr. Feldig. I'll be a leading lady if I get my shot.
We're pastry chefs, we cross our hearts, we're pastry chefs, no fakery.
A bakery
Is what we got. Aldolpho, my name it is Aldolpho. I am the king of romance, so I kiss a lot.
You are the king of romance, so you kiss a lot. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time. Someone hasn't come, someone isn't here. Where is Janet Vandergraff and when will she appear? It's Janet Vandergraff.
I'm Janet Vandergraff, here to marry Robert Martin, giving up a life of glamour to tie the knot. Am I late? I'm the chaperone of Janet Vandergraff, maid of honor, friend and confidant, and all that run. Where's the bar?
A wedding today.
It's prohibition, madam.
A wedding, how gay.
Good thing I brought my own.
A wedding today.
Champagne makes me drowsy.
It's really happening, truly happening, almost happening. What is happening?
I'm Trix, the aviatrix, queen of the sky. I circle through the stratus in my modern apparatus. I'm Trix, the aviatrix. I gotta fly. I'll see you when they tie the knot.
A wedding today.
Ding-a-ling.
A wedding.
Well, there you have it. All the guests are arrived. We have a bride who's given up the stage for love. Her debonair bridegroom, a happy producer, jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs, a flaky chorus, a Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix. And of course, my favorite character, the Drowsy Chaperone. What more do you need for an evening's entertainment?
Wedding,
Wasn't that wonderful? And we will ding along. I don't even know what that means. All right, I'll lead you through the record the best I can. Don't worry, it won't be hard to follow. So we begin with a welcome from the love-struck groom.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming. I tell you, I must be some lucky fella. Who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying such a glamorous showgirl? And this glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up her successful career and marry me, Robert Martin.
Aww.
Now, for one for Prohibition, I'd say let's raise a glass.
Here, here.
To Miss Janet Vandegraff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
The groom mustn't see the bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot. Basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a little early in the day to be drinking, isn't it?
I don't understand the question.
Look, you keep Janet away from Robert, you understand? You're the chaperone, and that's your only job.
Aye, aye, mon capitaine.
Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I am. I'm your little monkey.
So the bride and groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B plot, which involves the producer.
Getting married.
Mr. Felzig!
Getting married and leaving show business.
Mr. Felzig!
Doesn't she know I got obligations?
Mr. Felzig!
What is it, Kitty?
Oh my God.
I could be a leading lady. You said it yourself. I am useless in the chorus.
Kitty, for the last time. You ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
You mean ballet?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good too. Just last week, I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
That's Swan Lake.
A little annotation. Felzig and Kitty were a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comic construct. A stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, she appears stupid, but in the end, she does something quite clever, which makes everybody wonder whether it was all just an act. The irony here is that Sadie actually was quite stupid. Yes, apparently Jack had to explain all the jokes to her. But still, she had a wonderful career on stage. Back then, theater was the only place that stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
A petite form, Mr. Felzig.
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole.
Boys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we could give you something else to chew on.
Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand here in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also
And primarily,
employees of a certain individual
A certain individual.
a certain individual.
who happens to be the largest single investor in Felzig's Follies. He has sent us here
As pastry
to
chefs,
express his concern about Miss Vandegraff's impending nuptials.
specifically,
That if she gets married and leaves the show, then there ain't no show.
Say, don't I know you from somewhere?
no, you don't.
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
Have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I do have a cousin who lives in Seattle.
Kitty, please. Boys, you tell your boss this wedding is never gonna happen. You have my word.
Oh, we'll take your word, all right.
But to go back on that word would be a recipe for disaster. I hope we made ourselves perfectly eclair.
One can only hope.
You biscotti be kidding me!
A trifle much?
Don't tart with me.
All right, you can drop the pastry chef routine.
All right. Alas, we ganache.
We're on the lamb.
Lamb's an entree, you macaroon.
The gangsters were played by the interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tall Brothers, John and Peter Tall. They were born Abram and Mendel Moloskowicz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. Now, they were an early example of the typical Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements. Not very intimidating, unless you find dancers intimidating. Which I do. But for reasons that would not be appropriate for this situation.
We'll leave the matters in your hands, Mr. Felzig. But in the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel.
Yeah, try the Toledo Surprise.
It's to die for.
Holy cats, Mr. Felzig! The gangsters.
Very perceptive. Now go powder your face. I gotta stop this wedding. But how? Oh Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. So, with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the Albright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adorned every tube. Albright was hugely popular in the 1920s because it contained cocaine. Yeah, it's true. It was the 5th ingredient down, right after, well, sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, it's perfectly normal for a groom to be nervous on his wedding day, right? Of course.
Now, some people say he's a bad actor, but to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them fraidy cats do. Something, baby's bothering you. Cold feet, brother, you've got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little rhythm. Young feet, old feet can be uncontrolled feet. Rhythm make them cold feet right down the aisle. Frosty arches, they can learn to swing. Icy toes can jive. Wedding marches played in ragtime swing make frigid souls come alive and take that dive. Cold feet, schmold feet, turn them into bold feet. Rhythm make them cold feet.
You don't say. Well, why don't you just slime back into your mud hole, you backstabbing worm? Well, now I have to find another minister. Say, what are you up to?
I'm singing a song an old man taught me. A Dixie remedy, wedding day jitters.
You think you've got jitters? I've got to get the rice, boutonnieres, and a minister. I've got the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
George, it sounds like you got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Bold feet.
What do I do? Scold feet?
No! You make the cold feet hot. Make the cold feet hot. Make the cold feet hot.
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. I like to think of him panting and sweating after a long dance routine. Whew. He's still alive, you know. I saw him in the news recently, celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years had taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. They reeled him out, and he had that wide-eyed expression of pained confusion that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that goes, "Who are you? Who am I? And why is this cake on fire?" You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway.
All right. That's enough of that dancing around like a fool.
Sorry, George. It's my wedding day after all. Just trying to calm my nerves.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle. Tap dancing is just too dangerous. Why don't you go out for a skate instead? That's what I do when I want to blow off some steam.
George, what would I do without you?
Wait a minute. You can't go anywhere like that. You might see Janet. Here, put on that blindfold.
George, you think of everything.
Just looking out for you, my boy. And remember, no more tap dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore it. It does this occasionally. It rings.
Hello, you have reached my answer machine. Leave a message if you want, and I'll call you back at my convenience.
Well, that's it. The moment is ruined. Thank you, life. It's like a cell phone going off in the theater. God, I hate that. Hello, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in the theater ruining the moment. How about you? Oh, I couldn't get out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. Yeah, sorry, let's just shake that off. Let's go back in our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, but I'm sure they had something for the ruining of moments. Bugles or something.
Happy wedding time.
So the scene shifts, and we find the glamorous bride, Janet Vandegraff, entertaining questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Is it true you're giving up a successful career in show business to marry a man you hardly know?
Yes. Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Ile de France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned briefly, and then he proposed.
So he won't be returning to the stage ever?
I shan't. You shan't. I shan't.
Can we quote you on that?
Of course. One more question. Yes. Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I got a question. How can I give her the footlights? Well, you know very well. You got grease paint in your veins.
Oh, Victor, please.
Janet, I'm begging you. Take the mug. Stay with the Follies. I'll give you anything you want. Oh, fine. I'll put your name above mine on the marquee.
Oh, Victor, if you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play the saucy Swiss Miss no more. Blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off.
Janet, please.
Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind. And that's it. I quit.
don't wanna show off.
I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off no more. Off no more.
Not me. Woo! I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off. Don't wanna show off no
Please, no more tension. I've counted to 10. And I'm through.
Farewell.
Adieu. You'll never see this. Never see this. Never see this. Never see that. Never see these again. I don't wanna change keys no more. I don't wanna strip tease no more. I don't wanna say cheese no more. I don't care if you scoff. I don't wanna be cheered no more, praised no more, grabbed no more, touched no more, loved no more. I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off.
I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off.
I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off.
I don't wanna show no more. Did I miss something?
Well, Mr. Feltzig, it's painfully obvious Miss Vandycraft has no desire to continue to life on the stage.
Can't you see it's killing her soul?
Don't you worry, boys. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do an encore.
I don't wanna encore.
That was Jane Roberts as the bride. She was the Oops girl, remember? Surely you remember the Oops girl. Don't you people read? She was billed as the girl whose sexual energy was so great that it caused men around her to have, well, accidents. They spilled their drinks, crashed their cars into trees, and she would go, oops. Well, I'm not really doing it justice, but people ate it up. She made a whole series of films. Oops, the Oops Girl Come Home, and Oops Girl at Sea, which won an Oscar for special effects.
Okay, so begging and groveling didn't work. On to plan B. And for that, I'm gonna need an accomplice. Someone gullible, with loose morals. I need a, what do you call them? I need a European.
La 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 la. In walks Aldolpho, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldolpho is played by former silent film star and world-class alcoholic Roman Bartelli. He's the one who later drank himself to death in his chateau in Nice. And then it was 5 days before they found his body. And by then it had been partially consumed by his poodles? Well, it was only partially consumed.
Excuse me, I don't believe we've met.
Yes, I am Aldolpho.
You are Aldolpho?
Yes, I am Aldolpho.
Not the Aldolpho.
Yes, I am Aldolpho.
Funny, you don't look like a scoundrel.
Yes, what?
Why, just now I overheard the groom saying that Aldolpho's a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
Aldolpho is a scoundrel.
Those very words.
Aldolpho is a scoundrel.
It's like I'm hearing them again.
Why, this is outrageous. He is saying this to people. To beautiful ladies with beautiful figures for romancing with. Why, I must.
You must take matters in your own hands.
Yes, I must take this groom into my hands and kill him.
Yes. No, don't kill him. Just hurt him enough so that he can't get married.
Yes, very good. Come, show me to this groom. Wait.
What?
What kind of man is groom? Is he a big man?
Well...
Is he a burly fellow?
Well, he's big on the outside.
Oh, no. Aldolpho will not fight big man. Small, pale, weedy little dwarf people that Aldolpho can just bunt far away. But no big man.
So you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Aldolpho is a lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I am the king of romance.
Well, you know what they say. The best way to get revenge on a man is through his...
Door.
No. The best way to get back at a man is through his...
Window.
No. Revenge. Back at a man. Through his...
Through his... Oh, there is no other way. I am not Santa Claus coming down a chimney.
Through his woman.
His woman.
Yes, Aldolpho. You must seduce his woman.
His woman.
His bride.
Yes, Aldolpho will seduce the bride. That will show people Aldolpho is no scoundrel. Come now, show me to this bride. Wait.
What?
What kind of woman is bride? She a big woman?
No.
She a burly woman?
No. She's the cat's pajamas.
Oh, pajamas.
Yes, Aldolpho. She's an attractive woman. A looker.
Come, show me to this cat in pajamas. Aldolpho will make her purr.
Stop it.
Ooh, purr like a cat in pajamas. Roman Bartelli chewing the scenery. You certainly couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, could you? No, mature contemporary audiences are too sophisticated for broad racial stereotypes. So we've banished them to Disney. Yeah, let the children sort it out.
Underling,
Yes, madam?
the pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide the liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we have to be discreet.
Yes, madam.
It is prohibition after all.
I'm aware of that, madam.
We'll have to use code words. For instance, if somebody asks for a glass of ice water, it means they want a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madam.
Are you sure? Maybe you should write it down.
I understand, madam. A glass of ice water is a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water?
Vodka.
Ice?
Vodka.
Well, there we go. That's settled. One less thing to worry about. Underling, might I please have a glass of ice water? I found our meeting with the pastry chefs to be rather trying, and I would enjoy a glass of refreshing ice water.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
I hate this scene.
Well, now I do need a glass of ice water.
A glass of ice water, madam.
Yes, a glass of ice water. Are you going deaf?
Would that I were.
You can see where this is going, can't you? It's really just a series of spit takes.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
You know, in some ways, the Drowsy Chaperone was quite progressive.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, some elements were progressive. Others were stale in 1928. You know what? I'm just gonna skip ahead.
That was... that... poop! Where do you think you're going?
To find some lime juice, madam.
Lime juice? For heaven's sake, why?
I'm going to wring out my shirt and make myself a gimlet.
Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what was that number doing in the show? Well, it's simple, really. There's a song coming up, and they needed time to allow for the set change. It's mechanics, really.
In less than a few hours, I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad whirlwind.
This is a really interesting scene. This is the only time in the show that Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone on stage together. Now, Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was well established and a force to contend with.
Oh, I'm so full of apprehension. But I suppose that's normal considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, Chaperone?
No, I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Your ice water, madam. I'm afraid we're fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, underling?
Heavens, no. If I'm going to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
I know it seems crazy to give up a successful career to marry a man that I hardly know. But somehow, for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, oh gee, I get all woozy. And that's love, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the wooziness can be due to a number of things. I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Now, Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rousing anthems. She entertained and inspired troops in every major world conflict up to and including the Falkland War. Of course, by then she was in her late 80s, and her anthems didn't so much rouse as stupefy. But still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be put in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't entirely appropriate. But you just couldn't say no to her, and that's star power.
Really, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least try to allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration. Really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but...
As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right, nor right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along.
Well, that was quite nice, Chaperone. But I don't see how it takes to my situation.
Let me explain.
Really, that's not necessary. That's just sympathetic.
It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica. Oh, please.
Antarctica, oh, please.
Still, you mustn't let it lick you, this planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Then we stumble away through dawn's blinding
love her. Basically, she sings a rousing anthem about alcoholism. That's what I love about her. She does what she wants, regardless of the needs and concerns of others. Mother was like that.
Well, that was quite inspiring, Chaperone. But I'm still conflicted.
Oh, please, just tell me. Is Robert the man for me? My dear, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you ask? Why don't you say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert, and I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
You're right. And I take that responsibility very seriously. However, I'm just at this moment feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I'll have to have a lighty down. Now, whatever you do, don't go wandering through the garden, seeking out your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
Such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. When will love come crashing through my door? La 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 la.
In walks Aldolpho, come to seduce the bride.
I am Aldolpho.
Try not to think of the poodles while you're listening to this part.
I am Aldolpho, and you are bride.
No, I am not.
What? But this is bridal suite, and you are the only one here, so therefore, you are bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Me. No. Bride. Perhaps I could take a message.
Yes, very good, very good. Dear Miss Van de Graaff Bride, I must seduce you and transport you to the place of ecstasy. Sooner is better, signed Aldolpho, king of romance.
Well, you've seen through my little ruse. You found me out.
Oh, so you are the bride?
Apparently, yes. Vamos! Adolphus.
No, not Adolphus, Aldolpho. But you see, when we are romancing and you are screaming, you must say the right name or it will spoil everything. Oh, how can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Aldolpho, a ladies' man who wins acclaim Aldolpho. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Aldolpho. I'll introduce myself. I am Aldolpho.
Nice to meet you. Shall we?
Not so fast. Now, just in case you didn't hear, Aldolpho, I'll try to make it very clear, Aldolpho. The lovely ladies always cheer, Aldolpho. When I repeat myself, I am Aldolpho.
Understood.
I can sing it high, Aldolpho. I can sing it low, Aldolpho. I can sing it very fast, Aldolpho. I can sing it very slow. I would demonstrate now, but it would take hours. Now come, let me see if you can remember my name.
I'll give it a shot.
Now who's the fellow that you see?
Adolpho.
And how should you refer to me?
Adolpho.
And who is it I'll always be?
Adolpho.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Adolpho.
Now let me spell it out for you. For all you lovely ladies who didn't hear me for some reason, because maybe you are hard of hearing or something. I don't know. It goes. I
That was my mother's favorite number, yeah. I think it was her secret fantasy to be swept off her feet by a Latin lover. I mean, a real Latin lover, not a buffoon. But that's what musicals are all about, right? Romantic fantasy, falling in love at the drop of a hat, spontaneous tangoing, suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
Burn, la da 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 da, la da 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 da.
Don't worry, madam. I'm getting married today, so I have to wear a blindfold.
Blindfold?
Yes. Who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. I mean, Mimi. Mimi from France.
This scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
You are marrying Janet Van de Graaff, no?
Oui?
I hear she is very cute.
Oui.
And glamorous.
Oui, oui.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
Say, I'm having trouble placing your accent. What part of France are you from?
The middle part, where they make the toast. You were telling me about your, how do you say it in English? Fiancé.
That's right.
So tell me, what was the moment when you knew she was the only one for you?
We were standing on the Lido deck of the Ile-de-France.
Yes.
I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
And then I looked into her eyes, her big, glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell. And then you fell?
Yes, right on my keister. And I said, well, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
And that's what she said. And then I knew I must be in love.
And then what did you say?
And then I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm a toy on the stair, a three-legged chair, a hand that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there is nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so how be I happen to you?
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. You're an accident waiting to happen, a catastrophe destined to be.
I'm the rags on the cellar,
A broken umbrella.
a branch hanging loose from a tree.
I can see myself jumping and clapping, or the pencil is dangerously.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
So hurry and happen to me. And then what happened?
And then we kissed. You're an accident waiting to happen. So hurry and happen to me.
You kissed a strange French girl on your wedding day.
Oh no, what have I done? Wait, come back.
Oh no, it seems that the blindfold and fake French accent have led to a terrible misunderstanding. Will it all work out in the end? Yeah, of course it will. It's not real, it's a musical. In musicals, everything always works out. In the real world, nothing ever does.
Mr. Felzig!
Where's that philandering foreigner?
Mr. Felzig!
How long can it take to do
Mr.
one slide?
Felzig! You don't need Janet no more.
Kitty, not now.
But I've been working on a new mind-reading act! Presenting Kitty the Incomprehensible! something.
I'm thinking of something all right.
Wait, I'm getting it. Go to the store, buy some milk, a loaf of rye bread, and don't forget to shave your legs.
You're reading your own mind, you idiot.
Oh, no wonder it was so easy.
Mr. Feltzig!
It would seem that the wedding is proceeding according to schedule.
And now it's time to receive your just desserts. What do you think, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Feltzig?
Yeah, how about the Toledo Surprise?
An inspired choice.
Toledo Surprise? I never heard of that before.
No, you haven't. Those who have generally heard of it are never heard from again.
We'll share the recipe with you.
Yes, first you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow.
And then you got your Toledo Surprise.
Could you run that by me again?
It's a very simple recipe, Mr. Feltzig.
Yeah. Oh. First you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow. And then you got your Toledo Surprise. Hey, partner, why don't we give Mr. Feltzig a little taste?
All right.
Hold it! What style? What grace? What rhythm? Open your fists. Now shake them. Now give me that recipe one more time. Da 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 da. Go!
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo Surprise. Pick the peach, peel the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's a tasty Toledo Surprise. First you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it, it's a snack. Try it, folks. Whip your whites, split your yolks. That's a tasty Toledo Surprise.
You boys are naturals. Keep it up. A 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Feltzig! Ooh, what's going on here?
Kitty, I'm developing a new act.
Toledo Surprise.
You're putting gangsters in the show and you won't put me in it? They're not even in the union!
The new act. It's for you, Kitty. And these boys are your backup dancers.
Backup dancers? Holy cat! What that hot Toledo does to my libido. Good, yes indeed, oh sugary yum yum. Surprise! Squeeze the cream, grease the pan, lick the spoon, flip the plan, makes you bust your tuxedo. Toledo Surprise!
Aldolpho has an announcement to make. Wedding is off. What? Aldolpho has seduced the bride.
Yeah, that is not the bride, you idiot. That's the chaperone.
What?
The wedding is off. Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi. She's married.
Oh, Janet, I couldn't help it. She was just like you, but French.
Underling,
Yes, madam.
what is all this commotion about?
The wedding, madam.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up, then you speed it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it. Toledo Surprise.
Surprise?
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise?
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise?
Until it's ready.
Now it's looking ready.
Surprise! Makes me twitch, makes me shake. This dessert takes the cake. Hits me like a torpedo. Toledo Surprise!
Surprise.
Surprise!
tune is so infectious.
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Wedding bells won't ring, wedding bells won't chime, wedding bells won't celebrate a happy wedding time.
So that's that. The curtain falls and it's time for intermission. I hate intermission. It ruins the magic, you know? One moment you're lost in the world of music and romance. Then bang, you're surrounded by tourists, crinkling candy wrappers and nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel. Oh, it's a power bar. You see, I have a bit of a blood sugar issue. I have to eat small meals all day long or I get all jittery. I know it's rude, but you wouldn't like the alternative. Believe you me. Believe you me. I remember my wedding day. I didn't eat breakfast, and the ceremony wasn't until 4 in the afternoon. I do. Are you surprised that I was married? Well, there you go. You shouldn't go making assumptions about people, should you? I'm a very complicated person. I have to pee now. Don't worry, I'll be quick. And while I'm gone, you can listen to the beginning of Act 2.
Nightingale, nightingale, nightingale song.
I bring a message from a nightingale.
Nightingale.
What? You know Bao? Emperor and American lady, no see eye to eye.
But Emperor, a different outlook can change your point of view.
What?
Precisely. What is it about the Asians that fascinates Caucasians? What is it about the Asians that's so nice? Is it the wontons, the egg rolls, the rice? Perhaps it's Buddha or Confucius and their excellent advice.
What is it about Caucasians? It's not mystifies the Asians. What is it about Caucasians that's so odd? They call it with the lady abroad. They have hair on their chest, and they only have one god. Impossible!
Sorry. That was not from the Drowsy Chaperone. Yeah. That was from another musical entirely. You see, I have this woman who comes in once a month. Can you say that? I have a woman. Anyway, she cleans the things I absolutely refuse to clean. But she has this annoying habit of putting my records away, and in the wrong sleeves, even though I say, no touch record, Camila, no touch record. I suppose if I spoke to her in complete sentences, she might not touch my record. That started Act 2 of another Gable and Stein show called The Enchanted Nightingale, a degrading piece of chancery about an emperor who was told by a magical bird to marry his American elocutionist instead of his betrothed. Then he ends up building the Great Wall of China, a slap in the face to 4,000 years of Chinese history. But still, it had some wonderful tunes. No, Act 2 of the Drowsy Chaperone starts with this, a haunting lament from a very depressed bride. She sings it on her balcony, bathed in the pale blue moonlight of a sympathetic moon, which is ridiculous because it's the middle of the day. But still, it truly communicates the bride's state of mind. Now, while you're listening to this, try to ignore the lyrics. I know it will be hard, but they're not the best, so just try to ignore the lyrics.
I put a monkey on a pedestal and tried to make that monkey stay. And he did for a time, but he needed to climb, and with the other monkeys play far away.
Janet Vandegraff.
Do you need anyone?
I don't need anyone.
What about the love of one man?
What do I care about the love of one man when I am adored by millions? Do I need to be so gloomy? No, no, no. I can rule the world, so I chose. Sigmund runs its flowers to me every show. Gertrude's dying, she handed me a rose.
Let's go.
I'm Janet Vandegraff. Ain't no nail that I can't hammer. Why give up a life of glamour? Life of glamour, life of glamour. No!
I love this part. She's having a complete mental breakdown.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to spread mirth no more. Be the greatest on earth no more. I don't wanna, I wanna, I don't wanna, I wanna, I don't, I do, I don't, I do. I don't wanna show off. And I think sure, Janet, future is secure. Janet, millions will do just fine. Any future I could ever care to shape includes just one two-time myth cat who drives me I'm hapless fool. I know now that I'm lucky. I've thrown it all away. Oh, love, but is love enough? Is love ever enough? That's the story of love walking on astray. I ask monkey, monkey, the stars above. Is it the monkey or my pedestal?
Don't you just love that number? It has a little bit of everything. A little Bubsy Berkeley, a little Jane Goodall. And that's another thing I love about musicals in general. When a character is in crisis, they sing and they dance, which is so much more interesting than just whining about it.
What a beautiful day for a wedding.
Shall I have the pews removed now, or would you prefer I wait until morning?
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I don't want this number ruined by a ringing telephone. Here we have two vaudeville performers who have slipped through the cracks of time. They are Noel Fitzpatrick and Ukulele Lil. I don't know anything about them. I suppose Ukulele Lil may be ukulele, although she doesn't in this show. You know, I actually tried to find out more about her. I went through all my books, and I even tried the internet. But all of my searches ended in Tiny Tim's autopsy photographs. Anyway, they're both wonderful.
But why would we have the pews removed?
The bride is called off the wedding, madam.
Oh, underling. Never listen to a bride on her wedding day.
Yes.
Love is a very complex emotion, underling. You can be very close to someone one minute, and the next minute, why, you just want to strangle them. Do you understand?
I'm familiar with the urge to strangle. Yes.
You see, underling, that's just the nature of love. Love makes lovers worry, love makes lovers fret, but here's a fact on which we can depend. Just like long ago when Romeo loved Juliet, love is always lovely in the end.
But Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy.
Oh, I never read reviews. Love can start a quarrel, love can cause a din, but love guess she was in love. Love was good to Eve and Adam.
Here we go again.
Samson and Delilah too.
Good. Might I pose a question, madam?
Why, yes, of course.
Why does nothing I say to you ever get through?
Don't mind if I do. Love is always lovely in the end.
Oh my, I found that quite taxing. Excuse me while I go get myself a glass of ice water.
Love sneaks up behind you, love drops from above. But love would never consciously offend. Love has certainly been good to me, my true love. Love is always lovely in the end.
But your late husband was a brute.
I don't mean him, you silly coot.
Oh.
Love is always lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Love is always lovely in the end. Love is always lovely in the end.
Yes, that number was charming. But to be quite frank, on some level, that number pisses me off. Now, I'm going to say something here. And yes, I have been drinking. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that love is not always lovely in the end. No, often in the end, there are lawyers. I guess what I'm trying to say is that that number is naive, and irresponsibly so. Sorry, I just thought that needed to be said for the benefit of the young people. Okay, I won't interrupt anymore. There's a moment coming up that I have been obsessed with.
Oh, there you are. Chaperone, I'm in a terrible state.
You certainly are. You can't go to the wedding looking like that.
Oh, you poor dear. Haven't you heard? The wedding's been called off.
Not your wedding. Mine. That reminds me. Might I borrow your veil?
You're getting married, but to whom?
La 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 la. Oh, beautiful lady with baffled expression.
You're marrying Aldolpho?
I know it's surprising, but when I look into his eyes, his big, clumsy eyes, I get all drowsy. And that's love, isn't it? Oh, yes, dear, that is love.
Help me.
Alright, I'm gonna put my cards on the table. I got a weak heart. Can't take the pressure. If this goes on any longer, the old tinker's gonna give out. Please, tell me, is there gonna be a wedding or not?
Yes.
Thank the good Lord in heaven.
Aldolpho and the chaperone are getting married.
What?
Oh, there you are. I have wonderful news. There's going to be a wedding.
We know.
You know?
Yes, we just heard.
But how did you know?
I told them.
But how did you know?
What difference does it make?
Mrs. Tottendale and I are to be married in the garden at 7 in the evening.
What?
What? Oh, yes.
Congratulations to everyone.
Say, what kind of cockamamie wedding is this anyway? Everybody's getting married except the bride and groom.
Oh, Janet, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Please don't be that way. Can't you find in your heart to marry me? George has gone through all this trouble and well, I do love you. More than I can say.
But you kissed another woman.
Yes. And now I know this may sound ridiculous, but when I was kissing that French girl, why? It was just like kissing you.
Oh, Robert, you were kissing me.
You mean you're Mimi? Well, that French accent was remarkably accurate.
Why, thank you. I developed it when I played the role of Monique in Hold That Baguette.
There you are. Before you do anything, think about this. No matter how well you play the part of that happy wife, you'll never, ever get a standing ovation.
Oh, I just don't know. Oh, I'm so confused. Chaperone, please, just this once. Give me some advice that is coherent and appropriate to the situation. Should I marry Robert?
Okay, now here it comes. the moment I was talking about. Not only the culmination of the plot, but a moment that has brought me back to this record time and time again. Okay, here it comes.
Well, my advice to you is,
Here it is.
live while you can.
See, you can't quite make out what she says because someone drops a cane. Here, I'll play it for you again.
Live while you can.
I mean, this is Beatrice Stockwell, so it may just be a cynical quip. But this is a wedding after all, and that's exactly what you think when you're standing at the altar, isn't it? Live or leave. And you have to live, because you do love her in some way. It's not an exact science. An arrow doesn't come out of the sky and point to the one you're meant to be with. But one day you say it. You say, I love you. And you basically phrase it as a question, but they accept it as fact. And then there she is, standing in front of you in a $3,000 dress, with tears in her eyes and her nephew made of hoopah. And then what do? You go, I was kidding. No, you can't. You choose to live, right? And then, for a couple of months, you stare at that alien form that's beside you. And you think to yourself, who are you? Who are you? But then one day you say it out loud. Then it's trial separation and couples counseling, and all of your conversations are about her eating disorder or your Zoloft addiction, until you finally lose the deposit on the house and the whole relationship ends on a particularly ugly note, with your only copy of Gypsy flying through the air and smashing against the living room wall. But still, in a larger sense, in a broader sense, it's better to have lived than left, right?
Live while you can.
You have no idea how many times I've listened to that.
Oh, chaperone, you have quite a way with words. Robert, my answer is yes. I will marry you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mr. Feltzig, this wedding looks like a done deal.
Now you're in trouble.
And there's nothing you're gonna do about it.
But there is. I have a replacement. A new leading lady. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible. Now, concentrate and show the boys you can read my mind. My mind.
Kitty, will you marry me? Oh, yes, Mr. Feltzig,
Isn't she amazing?
Well, what are you ladies ready for? Go put on your frillies and we'll all get married in one big club. That's how they do it in Utah.
George, I don't know how you did it. 4 weddings in one day. You guys show everyone's best man now.
I am. Yes, I am.
Hip hip, hooray!
He's George, that's George, the best man, George. He's basking in the glory of a life never fought. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time.
Minister, you married me again. Oh no, I forgot the minister. Who the hell are you?
I'm Trix, the aviatrix of the sky. To Rio I was wending when my engine needed mending. I'll fix my navigatrix, then I'll fly to let you lovebirds tie the knot. Sorry to crash the party, folks, but we'll have this fixed in 2 shakes, and then off to Rio for the carnival.
Wait, a captain of a ship before the wedding.
Yes! And a pilot is comparable to a captain.
Yes!
And exactly as I went to. Some kind of a chief of the air. An air chief.
Oh, shit! Yes! Wait, I got it! Tricks! You can back on the plane.
believe it. Everybody stay calm. Everybody quiet.
It's the super.
One moment. Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Your lights are out.
Yes.
Well, we had to shut the power off because we changed the main breaker in the basement.
Okay.
Well, when we shut the power off, it tripped the breakers to all the apartments.
Yes.
Well, not to worry. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Okay.
Well, I have to trip your breaker?
Now?
Well, it'll only take a moment.
Okay, okay.
Let's see. Oh. I called on the phone earlier, but no one answered.
Oh, we've been having a problem with the phone.
Oh, all right. Here we are. What was that?
It was just music, you know, from a musical.
You like musicals?
No.
I love musicals. The wife and I go all the time. It's absolutely amazing today. Have you seen Miss Saigon? They actually landed a helicopter right on the stage. And I've seen them all. Cats, La Miserable, Saturday Night Fever. Well, I'm gonna have to say goodnight.
Okay, well, goodbye. Well, that's it. The moment is ruined. And right before the last note of the show, I should just start it again from the beginning, shouldn't I? No, I can't do that, can I? You have to understand, it's so frustrating. I love the show so much, and I've never even seen it. My mother gave me the record. This was just before my father left us. Oh, he didn't leave us because of the record. Although, I'm sure it didn't help matters much. Listen, I know it's not a perfect show. The spit-take scenes are lame, and the monkey motif labored. But none of that matters. It does what a musical is supposed to do. It takes you to another world, and it gives you something to carry with you in your head. Something when you're feeling blue, you know? As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
We bumble our way.
I wanna sing tunes
through life's crazy labyrinth.
Toledo Surprise.
Love is always lovely.
From right nor right from wrong.
cold feet. Brother, you've got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little rhythm. Young feet, old feet can be uncontrolled feet. Rhythm make them cold feet right down the aisle.
I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue.
I'm sure that you have heard the name Aldolpho, a ladies' man who wins acclaim, Aldolpho. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Aldolpho. Well, I introduce myself. I am Aldolpho.
Nice to meet you.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm a toy on the stair, a three-legged chair, a hand that's been caught by a shoe.
Here we go! Chop it on, tap it on, bake it on, nice and slow. And you got Toledo, Toledo Surprise.
I bring a message from a nightingale.
Nightingale, nightingale, nightingale song.
I bring a message from a nightingale.
Nightingale.
Do I need to be so gloomy? No, no, no.